Hi, I want to do a video on Officer K's Blaster from Blade Runner 2049. I already built this blaster, Deckard's Blaster, and I really enjoyed the build. I enjoy the pop feel of the gun. I made a little revised electronics, but yeah, great gun. I really enjoy it. It's got a good weight and feel. And now I want to do Blade Runner 2049 Blaster. And I printed the files from Thingiverse. It's a guy, I can't pronounce his name, Sergio. Anyways, he posted these files out in 2018, I think was the latest revision. And I printed a comically large version. This is 110% scale. So I kind of messed up on that. But when I printed it out, and I really thank the guy that put in the work, this Sergio, he really did a great job on the blaster. But the problem with it is, in my opinion, it doesn't have any prop feel. Nothing moves, everything is fixed or glued in. And I thought I could, I needed to do better than that. So I'm in the process of redesigning parts of this, and one of the first things I did was this is the proper scale. You can see it's a bit smaller. One of the first things I did was I didn't like the fact that the prop has an oval like vernier dial, which didn't really make a lot of sense to me. You can't rotate an oval vernier dial. So I kind of quickly mocked up this, and I made this rotatable. And I thought, okay, I think I can get it looking quite close to the original prop. So then I refined it further, and I made this. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I got some ideas from some of the websites like the RFP forum, and somebody used a printer belt. So I ordered a printer belt, I think for the A1, Bambu Labs A1. And so that's what that is, a little black in here. So this actually rotates. I don't know if you can see that. And it clicks, you can feel it clicking. So this is like I think it has real prop feel. It actually does something. It's just not a static thing. I don't know why the prop designers didn't think of something like that, but that's what they did. So that's the first thing I kind of worked on. Sort of painted in the colors I think I'm going to paint the prop in. And, did I say I really like this prop? I really like this prop. Oh, did I show you that side? So then I started working on this part. So upside down. This part, the handle's here, and I spent a lot of time on it. And so I got it mechanically, just got to line this up perfectly to act like a real gun and move this thing. So this is still work in progress. I'll show the detail. I'll just change the camera angle and show the detail, in case you're interested. Okay, back on. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on this. Oh, I'll show you what inspired me. Okay, so I'm kind of pulling off like an Adam Savage, but this gun, I thought, this is a little cap gun that someone did, and it does everything. And I was kind of like, oh, I was kind of impressed with that. Then I printed this thing, It actually ejects cartridges out. But, and I thought, well, I think I can probably steal some ideas from this to use for this, which will be the body of Kay's blaster. I have to, there we go. I have to do a little more work on it. And I'm going to have this part, I think I'll be able to have some kind of visualization here with the way this thing moves. So what I did, I'll pull this apart because this is like, so I don't plan, by the way, I'm not, this is for my own purposes and enjoyment. And what I'm using here, there's a spring. So there's this sled. I call it a sled. It has a little, this part moves up and down. So, whoops. So this sled is almost an identical copy of the sled that's in this one. I basically I probably should have made it a little bit less tall, but I decided to copy exactly as it was. And then I adapted the trigger so that it, I'll hold this, pulls forward and releases. And you can see, you need it to, you see the way that pin rises right there? That's how this thing can reset. And this is a spring that, retracts it. And then there's a little arm that just works this thing. And I put a magnet here. Originally I was going to put a spring, but I thought, geez, I'm going to try the magnet. I got this from another guy from and then I put the other magnet there, and so they repel each other. It makes me wonder if I can use magnets here instead of springs. But I think springs will be better. I'm going to make the spring a little stronger. It'll have a little bit of a, because you get a kind of a nice feeling. You get the feeling of a trigger and a hammer when you pull this trigger. And so this is so it doesn't float around. It's constantly pressing against this little arm. So when I pull this thing forward, this goes like that. And then it releases and goes like that. So it's not a huge amount of movement, but it has a really good prop feel. And it's probably, I think it's almost 99% there. There's a couple of minor refinements I plan to do, but this is basically what I'm going to do. And with that, I just want to say this was a great prop. I'll just mention this for a second. So what I have here is kind of lithium battery. It goes to this little buck converter, DC to DC converter, and it takes the, about 3.8 to 4.2 nominal volts of the lithium battery, converts it, in this case, to 8.5 volts. And with some trimmer resistors, I'm able to, all four of these outside LEDs are on one leg of the 8.5 volts, and a parallel leg with a trimmer resistor is for this LED and these two. So the trimmer resistor is a little big. I'll probably do a video and show how the exact circuit I used. And in here, right here, this little is a USB port for the charger. So I can put a USB mini cable, I think it's called, and I can charge this battery. Which is kind of cool. And what I found, interestingly enough, was when I put this together and I thought everything was perfect, it rocked a bit. So my intention anyways was to have these little copper pads to make the connection. So I got two little pads here glued to the top of the magnets, powering the two LEDs here. And I used really small wires. I wanted to hide them. I wanted to you know, they're there, right? I didn't want them to be visible. You know, this is great. You know, you got little fake bullets. This is a great gun for prop field too. Really good. And this, you know, this all moves. I changed the dial here. The other one, the detail was lost, so I made a new one here. But yeah, so you pop this in, turn it on, boom, it's on. And it lasts a long time. This lithium battery is, you know, going to last a long time with the lights on. So I'll charge it up every 3 months or so. So that's it for now. I plan to do some more. I'm going to replace this with an actual printed grill. So it's, you know, and I think I might make these. I always wondered about how this gun worked, how it was reloaded. It doesn't make any sense how you reload it. So there was a gun made, I think by an Australian company, and the bullets were stacked in the barrel. So my idea is this will be removable, at least one, and you're allowed to put it back in. You can take it out, put it back in, and that's like the reloading sequence. I'm kind of thinking along that idea. And what I'm probably going to do is have that actually house the battery for the LEDs that, you know, are part of the trigger guard. So I'm kind of leaning that way in terms of how I'm going to do it. And then there'll be a fair amount of prop feel, and with some weights and stuff to get it up to the weight of a you know, what you might imagine something like this weighs. So those are sort of the concepts, and when I'm finished it, I will do another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.